Learning Gateway. I hope you all are doing good. So today in this tutorial we are going to discuss class 8 science chapter number 13, and the name of the chapter is magnetic effect of electric current. Okay, so this chapter is from physics. You all know this chapter is from physics, and you can score good marks in your board exam from this chapter. Nearly 7 to 8 marks question can come from this chapter. Some numericals are also there in this chapter. If you have a good concept of the formulas and as well as the units and all, then you can solve the questions very easily. So for that, listen to the video carefully till the end, and once I request you to read your NCERT textbook also, because in that also many things are given which will be helpful for you for your board exam. And I have covered the complete notes from your NCERT textbook, so you can take the notes from here which will be helpful for you during your exams. Before starting guys, I have a small request from you all. If you will like this tutorial, then please click on the like button and share it with your friends also. Don't forget to click on the bell icon so that whenever I will be uploading our new video, you will get the notification for that. And if you want the question answers of these chapters, of each and every chapter of science, then you can comment in the comment section. I will upload the question answers and I will explain also all each and every question answers. And if you're new to my channel, then please click on this, then please subscribe to it. Okay, so now let's start with the chapter. As you can see, the name of the chapter is magnetic effects of electric current. So in this chapter we'll read about the magnetic effect also and about the electric current also. In this chapter you will read about the magnetic field lines, solenoid, electric generator, electric motor, and at last we'll read about the circuit, fuse and circuit. Those things we'll read in this chapter. About Fleming's left hand rule, right hand rule, those rules also we have to study in this chapter. Now let's begin with the chapter. First of all, as the name of the chapter is magnetic effect of electric current, right? So whenever there will be any electric current, okay, whenever there will be any electric current, some magnetic effect will be produced over there. Okay, you should remember that whenever any electric current will be there, some magnetic effect will be produced in that. So first of all, you should know what is magnet. In your junior classes also you have read about magnet, right? Magnet is any substance that attracts iron or iron like substances. So what is magnet? It is a substance that can attract iron. Iron is a metal, or iron like substances like it can attract nickel, cobalt. Those metal also it can attract. Okay, an electric current carrying wire behaves like a magnet. So what will behave like a magnet? An electric current carrying wire. Suppose some wire is there which will carry some electric current, that will also behave like a wire. Suppose this is a wire, right? It is carrying some electric current. It is also at the same time it will also behave like a magnet. Okay, electromagnets and electric motors involve the magnetic effect of electric current. Now there are two devices, electromagnets and electric motors. These substances, electromagnets as well as electric motor, they involve the magnetic effect of electric current. Okay, they work on the principle of what? Magnetic effect of electric current. Both the things, electromagnets also and electric motor also. But electric generators involve the effect of moving magnets. But in electric generator, moving magnets are there which will produce the electricity in by which the electric generators can work. Now one experiment is given over there in your textbook. Okay, compass needle gets deflected on passing an electric current through a metallic conductor. Okay, see, this is the compass needle and this is your wire. In this, one resistor is there, a meter is there, battery is there, and one key is there. When electric current will pass through this wire, what will happen? The compass needle will get deflected. Why it is getting deflected? Because of the electric current, and some amount of magnetic effect is also produced over there. Because of that, the compass needle is getting deflected. It is changing its direction on passing the electric current. So what does this mean? Why the needle is getting deflected on passing electric current? So the answer is given over there. It means that electric current through the copper wire has produced a magnetic effect. Whenever the electric current will pass through this wire, suppose this wire is made up of copper metal, so whenever the electric current will pass through the copper wire, some magnetic effect will be produced in this one. Thus we can say that electricity and magnetism are linked to each other. Okay, so because of the production of magnetic effect, the compass needle is getting deflected. So what we can say through this experiment, that electricity and magnetisms are linked to each other. Okay, electricity and magnetism are linked to each other. Next topic is properties of magnet. In this we'll read about properties of magnets. So in your 7th standard, 8th standard, I think in those classes you have read about properties of magnets. Many of you know also that every magnet has two poles, north pole and south pole. Suppose this is a magnet, it is having north pole, and one end it is having the south pole. So all the magnets will have two poles. Suppose if we will break this magnet into two pieces, then also these magnets will have two poles, north pole, south pole, north pole, south pole. Again, if we will break this magnet again into two pieces, then also each pieces will have one end as north pole and other end as south pole. No matter in how many pieces you are breaking the magnet, it will always have one north pole and other end will have the south pole. The first property of magnet is magnet has two poles, north pole and south pole. Second one, like poles repel each other. Okay, this is also one property of magnet. Like poles repel each other. For example, in this case, it is the north end of a magnet. In this magnet also it is north end. If north side of both the magnets will come close to each other, what will happen? They will repel each other. Repel means they will go far away from each other. Okay, so this is what like poles repel each other. North and north are like charges, so they will repel each other. Next one, unlike poles attract each other. In the first diagram you can see this is north pole and this is south pole. These are unlike poles, one is north, another is south. If they will come close to each other, these two magnets, what they will do? They will attract each other. So these 2 points you should remember. Like poles repel each other. Like for example, north will repel, south will repel. Unlike poles will attract each other. For example, north and south will attract each other. Right? A freely suspended magnet align itself in nearly north-south direction with its north pole towards the north direction. You know that in our earth we have two poles, north pole and the south pole. If we will suspend a magnet, okay, then in which direction it will align itself? It will align itself in the north-south direction. Means the north end of the magnet will be towards the north direction and the south pole of the magnet will be towards the south direction. So these are the 4 properties of magnet. It has 2 poles, north pole and south pole. Like poles will repel each other. North will repel. Unlike poles will attract each other. North and south will attract each other. And when we will suspend a magnet, what will happen? It will align itself in the north-south direction. Okay, its north pole will towards the north direction and south pole will towards the south direction. Okay, I hope you all have understood the properties of magnet. Next we have magnetic field. In this slide we'll learn about the magnetic field. So what is magnetic field? The area around a magnet in which its magnetic force can be experienced is called magnetic field. The area around a magnet, you can see this is a magnet having south pole and north pole. So the area around the magnet, this is the area around the magnet in which its magnetic effect force can be experienced is called a magnetic field. Okay, field means what? Area or ground. Like that only you have to remember that the area around a magnet in which its magnetic force can be experienced is called magnetic field. The direction and strength of magnetic field are represented by magnetic lines of force. So how we can predict the direction and strength of a magnetic field? By the magnetic lines of force. The lines you can see in this magnet with the arrow, these are called the magnetic lines of force. About this also we'll read in the next topic. Okay, so the direction and strength of magnetic field are represented by magnetic lines of force. And what is the SI unit of magnetic field? SI unit of magnetic field is Tesla, T-E-S-L-A, and it is represented by the letter capital T. This also you should remember. The SI unit of magnetic field is Tesla. And it is a vector quantity. What do we understand by vector quantity? Vector quantities are those quantities which are both magnitude as well as direction. So magnetic field is having direction also and it has magnitude also. So it is a vector quantity. The magnitude of magnetic field increases with increase in electric current. Okay. So when the magnitude of magnetic field will increase, when we will increase the electric current, the magnitude of magnetic field will also increase in that case, and decreases with decrease in electric current. And when the electric current will decrease, that time magnitude of magnetic field will also decrease. Magnitude means its strength, the number. Okay, that is called the magnitude. And direction, you all know, it can be north, south, east and west, that directions. So once again we'll repeat. What is magnetic field? The area around a magnet in which its magnetic force can be experienced is called magnetic field. And on what property the direction and strength of magnetic field will depend? It will depend on magnetic lines of force. And what is the SI unit of magnetic field? Tesla. It is a vector quantity having both magnitude as well as direction. And when the magnitude of magnetic field will increase? When we increase the electric current. And when we will decrease the electric current, magnitude of magnetic field will also decrease. Okay. Next, we'll read about magnetic field lines. Just now, I have told you about the magnetic field lines. Now, we'll read about the magnetic field lines. What are magnetic field lines? Magnetic field line is a path along which a hypothetical free north pole tend to move towards the south pole. So, what is it? You can say magnetic field lines also or field lines also. Anything will be fine. Okay. So, it is a path. Path means the way. Okay. The path means the way through which a hypothetical free north pole tend to move towards the south pole. Means it is like a line or path through which north pole will move towards the south pole. So these are called magnetic field lines. And now this is important, characteristics of magnetic field lines, because many times in the board exams also this question is asked. Write the characteristics of magnetic field lines or write the properties of magnetic field lines. Okay, so one by one we'll discuss all the properties. First one is magnetic field lines arise from the north pole and end into south pole of a magnet. You can see this is the north pole of the magnet and this is the south pole of the magnet. The field lines are coming out from the north pole and going towards the south pole. So they arise from the north pole and they are ending towards the south pole. You can see the direction of the arrow. The direction of the arrow is towards the south. Means the magnetic field lines are arising or coming from the north pole and ending towards the south pole. This is the first point. This you should remember, that magnetic lines of force will emerge from the north pole and end towards the south pole. Second one, the direction of field line is from south to north inside a magnet. Outside the magnet, you can see the direction is from north to south. But inside the magnet, what will be the direction of the field lines? It is from south to north. Means inside the magnet, the direction of the field lines will be from south pole towards the north pole. Okay. Now, they are closed curves. You can see they are closed. They are like curved line, they are closed curves. Okay, this is also one of the property. The field lines never intersect each other. Intersect means they will never cross each other. Magnetic field lines will never intersect each other. They will never cross each other. Okay. The strength of magnetic field is expressed by the closeness of magnetic field lines. So how its strength can be expressed? By the closeness of the magnetic field lines. Closer the lines, more will be the strength. If the magnetic field lines are very close to each other, if they are very close to each other, that time what will happen? The strength will be more. But if they are far from each other, then the strength will be less. Okay, so the strength of magnetic field is expressed by the closeness of the magnetic field lines. Closer the line, more will be the strength. Lesser and farther the line, less will be the strength. So these are the characteristics of magnetic field lines. You should remember that it arises from the north pole and end towards the south pole. Then inside the magnet, the direction will be from the south to north. They are closed curves and they will never intersect each other. And the strength of magnetic field is expressed by the closeness of the magnetic field lines. Closer the line, more will be the strength. Farther the line, less will be the strength. So these was this we have read about the properties of the magnetic field lines. Our next topic is magnetic field due to current carrying conductor. Okay, in this we'll read about Oester's experiment. He was a scientist who has given one experiment. What is the name of the topic? Magnetic field due to current carrying conductor. How magnetic field will be produced because of current carrying conductor. That we will read in this one. And for this we have to read this experiment. Oester's experiment. When electric current flows through a current carrying conductor, it produces a magnetic field around it. So what happens? Whenever an electric current will flow through a current carrying conductor, suppose this is one of the conductor, and whenever electric current will flow through this, when electric current will flow through this conductor, magnetic field will be produced in the conductor. Okay, this can be seen with the help of a magnetic needle which shows deflection. And how this can be proved? By the help of a magnetic needle. You can see one needle is given over there, in which deflection is produced. Means the needles are moving from its place. That is called deflection, changing their places. The more the current, the higher the deflection. So If more current will be produced, then higher deflections can be seen. If the direction of current is reversed, the direction of deflection is also reversed. Now, if we will change the direction of the current, that time what will happen? The direction of deflection will also be reversed. Suppose first the current is moving from north to south, and that time the deflection is also from north to south. But if we were changing the direction of the current from south to north, that time the deflection will also be reversed. You can look at the diagram given over there. This is one of the wire, okay, in which the current is flowing through that, and in this the deflection can also be seen in the wire from towards the east, okay. But in this one, if the direction of the current is reversed, you can see the arrow mark, so the direction is also reversed from south to north. See the direction from south to north. In west direction, the needle is moving towards the west direction, but in the first one the needle is moving towards the east direction, right? So now the next topic is magnetic field due to a current through a straight conductor. Magnetic field due to a current through a straight conductor. Now we are taking a straight conductor, and how magnetic field will be produced in that we'll study now. When current is passed through a straight current carrying conductor, a magnetic field is produced around it. Okay, so whenever the current will pass through a straight conductor or a current carrying conductor, always magnetic field will be produced around it. So you should remember that wherever there is a current, magnetic field will be produced. Using the iron fillings, we can observe that they align themselves in concentric circles around the conductor. So this is your this is the wire, this is the circuit, okay, and this is the resistance over there, variable resistance. A meter is there, key is there, and battery is there. So whenever current will be passed in this conductor, magnetic field is produced in this one. You can see in the diagram, magnetic fields are produced in this one. And how we can by using the iron fillings. In this they have used the iron fillings, this black type of structure you can see in this diagram. These are the iron fillings, and we can observe that they align themselves in concentric circles around the conductor. When you will use the iron fillings, then what will happen? The iron fillings will align themselves in concentric circles like this around the current carrying conductor. Okay, when you will bring the iron fillings near the current carrying conductor, since the current carrying conductor is behaving like a magnet, it is like in that magnetic field is produced. So whenever you will bring some iron fillings near to that, the iron filling will align themselves in concentric circles. Our next topic is right hand thumb rule. So for that you have to use your right hand, right? So you have to use your right hand. So as the name indicates, right hand thumb rule. So what is the statement of this rule? Let's study that one first. If you are holding a current carrying conductor in your right hand, okay, one current carrying conductor is you have to straight current carrying conductor, it should be straight, in your right hand, such that the thumb point towards the direction of the current. You have to hold the current carrying conductor in such a way that your thumb will point towards the direction of the current. You can see in the picture, this is a straight current carrying conductor, and your thumb is pointing towards the direction of the current, okay. Then your finger will wrap around the conductor in the direction of the field lines, and the fingers are wrapped around the conductor, and your fingers, now the fingers which are wrapped around the conductor, what they are showing? They are showing the direction of the magnetic field lines, okay, direction of the magnetic field lines of the magnetic field. This is known as right hand thumb rule. So what is right hand thumb rule? If you are holding a current carrying straight conductor in your right hand, then your thumb will point towards the direction of the current. Your thumb is pointing toward the direction of the current, and the fingers are wrapped around the conductor, which will show the direction of the field lines of the magnetic field. This is known as right hand thumb rule, okay. You can see this is the right hand. Thumb is pointing towards the direction of the current, and the fingers are wrapped around the conductor. They will show the field lines, direction of the field lines, okay. Suppose if you are holding your hand like this, then also your thumb will point towards the direction of the current. Now current is flowing towards downward direction. In this diagram also, the current is flowing toward the downward direction, and the fingers will give you the direction of the magnetic field line. So this is your right hand thumb rule, okay. In this you have to remember that you have to hold a straight current carrying conductor in your hand, such that your thumb will always point toward the direction of the current, and your fingers the fingers which are wrapped around the conductor will give you the direction of the field lines. Okay, so this is known as right hand thumb rule. So now our next topic is magnetic field due to a current through a circular loop. Now through a straight conductor, through a current carrying conductor we have read. Now we'll read magnetic field due to a current through a circular loop. Okay, for this what you have to do, it can be represented by concentric circles at every point. Circles become larger and larger as we move away. Every point on the wire carrying current would give rise to magnetic field appearing a straight line at center of the loop. You can see this is the circuit. In this one loop is connected. The circular loop is connected. Okay, magnetic field produced by a current carrying circular coil. Like a coil, it is there. Okay, whenever the current will be passed, some magnetic field will be produced in the circular loop also, and it will be in the form of a circles. You can see the circles in the form of a circles, and larger and larger as we move away. Every point on the wire carrying current would give rise to magnetic field appearing a straight line at the center of the loop. Okay, at the center you can see that it will appear like a straight line. It will appear like a straight line in the loop. Suppose this is the diagram given over there. This is the circular ring. Whenever the magnetic field will be produced, at the end it will appear like a concentric circle, but in the center it will appear like a straight line. As you can see, compare the diagrams given over there. Now, our next topic is magnetic field due to a current in a solenoid. So, first of all, you should know what is solenoid. Now, we'll read about magnetic field due to a solenoid. So, first of all, we should know what is a solenoid. This question is also asked, what is solenoid? A coil of many circular turns of insulated copper wire wrapped closely in the shape of a cylinder is called solenoid. So, what is solenoid? A coil of many circular turns means many circular turns will be there of insulated copper wire wrapped closely in the shape of a cylinder is called solenoid. You can see in the diagram, it is like in the shape of a cylinder of insulated copper wire in which many circular turns are there. That is called a solenoid. Magnetic field of solenoid is similar to that of a bar magnet. So if you will compare the magnetic field of solenoid, it will be similar to that of a bar magnet. Bar magnet is a type of a magnet. Magnetic field is uniform inside the solenoid and represented by parallel field lines. So inside the solenoid, magnetic field is uniform. That means it will be same everywhere, and it can be represented by parallel field lines. You can see the lines, they are parallel to each other. These are the field lines. Field lines of the magnetic field through and around the current carrying solenoid. Okay. Now, solenoid can be used to magnetize a magnetic material like soft iron. So, where we can use the solenoid? It can be used to magnetize a magnetic material like soft iron. The strength of magnetic field produced depends upon the number of turns. So, how we can compare the strength of magnetic field which is produced in a solenoid? By the number of turns. In this, number of turns are there which will give you the strength of the magnetic field. Strength of current in the solenoid is used in making solenoid. Strength of current in the solenoid used in making solenoid. Okay. So it is also used for making solenoid also. The strength of current which is formed in the which is produced in the solenoid is also used for making the solenoid. Now we'll read about electromagnets. So what are electromagnets? So, okay, strong magnetic field inside the solenoid can be used to magnetize a magnetic material. Strong magnetic field inside the solenoid. We know that inside the solenoid magnetic fields are produced. So if the strong magnetic field will be there inside the solenoid, they can be used to magnetize a magnetic material too. They can be used to produce magnetic effect, magnetize a magnetic material. For example, soft iron. When it is placed inside the coil, the magnet so formed is called electromagnet. It is a temporary magnet. Okay, it is not a permanent magnet. Temporary means magnetic effect will be for a short period of time. So what are electromagnets? Strong magnetic field inside the solenoid can be used to magnetize a magnetic material like soft iron. When it is placed inside the coil, the magnet so formed is called electromagnet, and it is a type of a temporary magnet. In this, we will read about the differences between the permanent magnet and electromagnet. So for that, you have to make two columns. One for the permanent magnet and other for the electromagnet. Permanent magnets are those magnets in which the magnetic property will be for a long period of time. And okay, in this we'll read about permanent magnet and electromagnets. Okay, electromagnet, just now we have read that it is a type of a temporary magnet. For permanent magnet, what you have to write? It can retain magnetic property for a very long time until it gets demagnetized due to various factors. So the magnetic property will be present in permanent magnet for a long period of time until it get demagnetized due to other factors. And what is electromagnet? It is a type of a temporary magnet. Its magnetic effect can be utilized by switching on the current when required. So how we can use its magnetic effect? By switching the current, by switching on the current when required. And in this, the magnetic effect will be for a short period of time. For second point, for permanent magnet, magnetic field strength cannot be changed. We cannot change the magnetic field strength of a permanent magnet. But for magnetic field strength can be either increased or decreased by varying the current. Okay. By changing the current, we can increase the magnetic field or decrease the magnetic field inside a electromagnet. Third point, for permanent magnet, provides a very weak magnetic field strength when compared to electromagnet. In permanent magnet, the magnetic field strength is very weak, but electromagnets, they have it cannot produce a very strong magnetic field. Okay, but electromagnets cannot produce very strong magnetic field. Now, the fourth point, magnetic polarity cannot be changed. We cannot change the magnetic polarity in permanent magnet. But in electromagnet, magnetic polarity can be changed. So these are the 4 points of differences which we have written for permanent magnet and electromagnet. If you want, you can copy down in your notebooks. Next. Now we'll read about force on a current carrying conductor in a magnetic field. Okay, Henri-Marie Ampere suggested that magnet also exerts an equal and opposite force on a current carrying conductor. Whenever electricity current will be passed in a conductor, magnetic field is produced, right? So Henri-Marie Ampere, she was one scientist. She suggested that whenever the magnetic field will be produced, that time magnets will also exert an equal and opposite force on a current carrying conductor. Okay, the displacement in the conductor is the maximum when the direction of current is at the right angle to the direction of the magnetic field. So when the displacement will be maximum? The displacement in the conductor is the maximum when the direction of current is at right angles to the direction of the magnetic field. Okay, when the direction of the current will be at right angles to the direction of the magnetic field, 90 degree, right angle means 90 degree. Direction of force is reversed on reversing the direction of the current. How we can change the direction of the force? By changing the direction of the current. So in this you have to remember that whenever magnetic field will be produced, magnet will also exert equal and opposite force on the current carrying conductor. Next, we'll read about Fleming's left-hand rule. In this, we'll read first about Fleming's left-hand rule. After that, we'll read about Fleming's right-hand rule also. So, what is Fleming's left-hand rule? Since it is a left hand, so you have to use your left hand for this rule, right? So, according to Fleming's left-hand rule, stretch the thumb, forefinger and middle finger of your left hand such that they are mutually perpendicular. Which three fingers we have to use for this rule? We have to use our thumb, the forefinger and the middle finger. Okay, thumb, forefinger and the middle finger. Only three fingers we have to use for this rule of our left hand. Such that we have to stretch the three fingers such that they are mutually perpendicular to each other. Perpendicular means they should make 90 degree angle with each other. If the first finger point in the direction of the magnetic field, okay, if one of the finger, suppose this finger will point in the direction of the magnetic field and the second finger in the direction of the current, and the second one, this finger, it points in the direction of the current, then the thumb will point in the direction of motion of the force. Then thumb will show what? It will show the direction of motion of the force acting on the conductor. So what is this Fleming's left hand rule? According to Fleming's left hand rule, stretch the thumb, the forefinger and the middle finger of your left hand such that they are mutually perpendicular to each other. Only three fingers we have to use and they should be perpendicular to each other. If the first finger points in the direction of the magnetic field, if the first finger, this one, okay, if this first finger points in the direction of the magnetic field and second finger, this one, okay, this finger will point in the direction of the current, then your thumb will show what? It will point in the direction of motion or the force acting on the conductor. Just now we have read that magnet will also exert equal and opposite force on the conductor. So thumb will give you the direction of motion of the force acting on the conductor. Okay, so like this you should remember this one. Now, in this we have to read about MRI and galvanometer. What is MRI? Magnetic resonance imaging. In hospitals, when you go, sometimes if you have any injury in your internal body parts, that time doctors used to do for this test, MRI. Okay, in MRI, what is the full form? Magnetic resonance imaging. Image of internal organs of body can be obtained using magnetic field of the organs. Okay, so in this, if you have any problem in your internal organs, then the image of the internal organs of the body can be obtained using magnetic field of the organs. And what is galvanometer? Instrument that can detect the presence of current in a circuit. It also detects the direction of the current. So it is used in the circuit. Galvanometer is used in the circuit which detects the presence of current in a circuit, and it also detects the direction of the current. Okay. Next topic is electric motor. This is very important question. Generally 4 to 5 marks question is every year they used to ask from this topic, electric motor. Okay, first of all, what is electric motor that you should know? Electric motor, you know that in many of the devices in our house, many of the appliances in our house, electric motor is used. It can be used in the mixture grinder. It is also used in the fans. Okay. So electric motor is a rotating device that converts electric energy into mechanical energy. So what does this electric motor do? It converts electrical energy. We have to provide electricity to this electric motor. Then it will convert that electrical energy into mechanical energy, means for doing that work. Like for example, fan. If you will provide electricity to the fan, it will rotate and it will give you the it will do the mechanical energy for you. Okay, so electric motor is a rotating device that converts electrical energy into mechanical energy. Next, it works on the basis of rules suggested by Marie Ampere and Fleming's left hand rule. So it works on what? It works on which rule? The rule suggested by Marie Ampere and Fleming's left hand rule. Just now we have read in left hand rule, if you stretch the thumb, the forefinger and the middle finger of your left hand, the thumb will point in the direction of the force, the first finger will point in the direction of the magnetic field, and the second finger will point in the direction of the current. In electric motor, a rectangular coil is suspended between the two poles of the magnetic field. Okay, so how it is made? Two poles of magnet are there, north pole and the south pole. In between, a rectangular coil is present between the two poles of the magnet. The electric supply to the coil is connected with a commutator. Then how the electric supply will be provided to the coil? By connecting it with a commutator. What is a commutator? A commutator is a device which reverses the direction of flow of electric current through a circuit. In electric motors, the split ring acts as a commutator. This question is also asked. What is a commutator and what is its function? So what is a commutator? A commutator is a device which reverses the direction of flow of electric current through a circuit. Reverses means it changes the direction of flow of current through a circuit. So in electric motor, what acts as a commutator? Split ring acts as a commutator. If you look at the diagram of the electric motor, in that you can see split rings are present. That will act as a commutator. That will change the direction of the flow of current in a circuit. Electric motors are used in electric fans, refrigerators, mixers, washing machines and computers, etc. This 1 marks question is also asked in the exam. Name some devices in which electric motors are used. Then you can write electric fans, refrigerators, mixer grinders, washing machines. Okay. Now, what are the commercial uses of motor? An electromagnet in place of permanent magnet. Okay, what are the uses of motor? An electromagnet can be used in place of permanent magnet. Large number of turns of the conducting wire in the current carrying coil. A soft iron core on which the coil is wound. So these are some of the commercial uses of motor. Next we'll read about electromagnetic induction. You have many times you have heard about this electromagnetic induction. What is this electromagnetic induction? When a conductor is placed in a changing magnetic field, any conductor, when it will be placed in a magnetic field, some current is induced in it. Means when we will place any conductor in a magnetic field, some current will be induced in it. Some current will be present in that. Induced means will be come in that conductor. Such current is called induced current, and the phenomena is called electromagnetic induction. So the current which is getting induced in the conductor is called induced current, and the phenomena or the process is called electromagnetic induction. Suppose this is a magnetic field, and if we will place any electric any conductor in that, some current will be induced in that, some current will be present in that conductor. So that process is called electromagnetic induction. Now we'll read about Fleming's right hand thumb rule. Just now we have read about Fleming's left hand rule. Now we'll read about Fleming's right hand rule. Stretch the thumb, forefinger and the middle finger of your right hand. Again the three fingers we have to use, but of our right hand, such that they are perpendicular to each other. In this case also they should be perpendicular to each other. If the forefinger indicates the direction of magnetic field, now this is your forefinger, it will show which direction? It will show the direction of the magnetic field. And the thumb shows the direction of motion of the conductor. Thumb will show what? It will show the direction of motion of the conductor. Then the middle finger will show the direction of induced current. And this middle finger, what it will show? It will show the direction of the induced current. This rule is called Fleming's right hand rule. Okay. So what is Fleming's right hand rule? Stretch the thumb, forefinger and the middle finger of your right hand, and they should be perpendicular to each other. The forefinger indicates the direction of the magnetic field. Forefinger will show the direction of magnetic field, right? Like this. Okay. Thumb will show the direction of motion of the conductor. And the middle finger will show the direction of induced current. So this is called your Fleming's right hand thumb rule. The statement of these questions are asked in the exam. State Fleming's right hand rule, state Fleming's left hand rule. So you should remember the statement. Next we'll read about electric generator. Okay, so what is electric generator? Electric generator converts mechanical energy into electrical energy. Suppose in the apartments and all, when electricity will not be there, that time they use the electric generators. Okay, suppose sometimes you are organizing some function, in that you cannot take that electricity supply, so that time you take the generators from the market and they will provide you the electricity. So electric generators are converts mechanical energy into electrical energy. It is based on the principle of electromagnetic induction. On which principle it will work? It will based on the principle of electromagnetic induction. Remember this one. Okay. In case of electric generator, rectangular armature is placed within the magnetic field of a permanent magnet. So in this one, what happens? A rectangular armature is placed within the magnetic field of permanent magnet. The armature is attached to the wire and is positioned in a way that it can move around an axle. So in such a way the armature will be present so that it can move easily through an axle. Working of electric generator. You can see in the diagram, this is the north pole and the south pole. Okay. Some split rings are also present in this. Brushes are also present. Rings. These are called the split rings. These are called the brushes. Working of electric generator. When the armature moved within the magnetic field, an electric current is induced. The direction of induced current changes when the armature crosses the halfway mark of its rotation. Thus, the direction of current changes once in every rotation. Whenever the armature will move within the magnetic field of the electric current, an electric current will be induced. The direction of induced current changes. Sometimes the direction of the current will change when the armature crosses the halfway mark of its rotation. So the direction of current changes once in every rotation. So whenever the armature will rotate itself, the direction of the current will change. Due to this, the electric generator produces alternating current. So which type of current the electric generator will produce? Alternating current, AC. To convert an AC generator into a DC generator, a split ring commutator is used. So how we can convert that AC generator into DC generator? By using split ring commutator. This helps in producing direct current. Okay. Now we'll read about the differences between the alternating current and the direct current. First one, alternating current is written with the short form AC and direct current with short form DC. The current which reverses its direction periodically. Periodically means after some period of time, that is called alternating current. Okay, so this current can reverse its direction periodically. Direct current always flow in one direction only, but direct current will always flow in one direction. AC can be transmitted over long distance without much loss of energy. Okay, alternating current can be used for a long distance also, for a long distance without loss of energy, but loss of energy during transmission over long distance is high. But if we will use direct current, it leads to loss of energy. Cost of transmission is low. Cost of transmission is high in case of direct current. AC cannot be stored. We cannot store the AC current, but DC current can be stored as in the form of batteries. Now, the last topic of this chapter is domestic electric circuit. So, what is this domestic electric circuit? In our homes, the electric power supplied is of potential difference 220 volt and frequency 50 hertz. Okay, the electricity which we are using in our house. So what is the potential difference of that electric power? 220 volt and frequency is 50 hertz. There are three kinds of wires used in our house. If you will see the main circuit of your house, three types of wires you can see. One is of green color, one is of red color, and another one is of black color. Three wires are used. So what are the three types of wire? First one is your live wire. Okay, it is having a charge positive. Red color, it is of red color insulation. Okay, next one is your neutral wire, negative with black insulation cover, and the third wire, that is the earth wire, it is of green color insulation. So live wire red color, neutral wire black color, and earth green insulation, right? The potential difference between the live wire and the neutral wire in India is 220 volt. So what is the potential difference between the live wire and the neutral wire? Only 220 volt, positive and the negative. Now, how the electricity is provided in our house? First of all, one pole is there. After that, main supply is there. Okay, from pole, the electricity, the current will flow towards the main supply, then up to the fuse, and from the fuse it will go to the electricity meter, and after that the distribution box is there, and after that it will be given to the separate circuits. Okay, you can see in this diagram, this is the earth wire, this is the live wire, and the neutral wire. All the three wires are connected in the circuit. A systematic diagram of one of the common domestic circuits. In this electricity board, fuse is there, electricity meter is also there, in which the people used to see their bills and all. Distribution box containing main switch and fuses for each circuit. One box is there, you can see in your homes. In that, some switch and fuses will be there. Okay, and the potential difference between the live wire and the neutral wire is 220 volt. Now we'll read about the earth wire, short circuit, and overloading in this slide. So what is earth wire? What is the function of the earth wire? Earth wire, just now we have read that the color, which color of insulation is used in earth wire? Green color. It protects us from the electric shock in case of leakage of current, especially in metallic body appliances. Okay, so what does it function? It protects us from the electric shock whenever there will be any leakage of current in metallic body appliances, like your electric iron. They are made of metals, so in that maybe sometime it happened that current can leak. So earth wire will protect us from the electric shock. It provides a low resistance path for current in case of leakage of current. Whenever the current will be leaked, that time what it will do? It will provide a low resistance path for the current. Next one is our short circuit. What is short circuit? When live wire comes in direct contact with the neutral wire accidentally. When live wire and the neutral wire, red color wire will close to the black color wire. Live and the neutral wire will come accidentally close to each other. That time what will happen? Short circuit can occur. So how short circuit will occur? When the live wire will come in direct contact with the neutral wire, that time short circuit can occur. The resistance of circuit becomes low, which can result in overloading. Then if they will come in close contact with each other, then what will happen? Resistance of the circuit will become low, and it can result in overloading also. Now, what is this overloading? When current drawn is more than current carrying capacity of a current, it results in overloading. Sometimes you have seen that if many of the appliances will be used in the house, and all those appliances are not working properly, then we say that it is overloading. So what happens when we are using the current more than what we are getting the current? That is called overloading. When current drawn means the current which we are taking is more than the current carrying capacity of a conductor, that is called overloading. So what are the causes of overloading? Accidental hike in voltage supply. This is one of the cause. Okay, if some voltage supply will occur like that, in that also overloading will occur. Use of more than one appliances in a single socket. If in one socket only, if you use more than one appliances, more than one device, then also overloading can occur. Now, what are the safety devices? Electric fuse is one of the safety device. Earth wire is also one of the safety device, and MCB, miniature circuit breaker. These are the safety devices which we use in our homes. Electric fuse is safety device, earth wire, and MCB. These are the safety device which we use in our homes. With this, we have finished the chapter. I hope you all have understood it, and if you have any doubt, you can comment in the comment section. I will try to clear your doubt. Learn the rules, statements, and About electric generator and electric motor, I will like make a separate video for its working, how it works. I will make a separate video for that so that you will understand it clearly in those videos. Thank you for watching my channel Science Learning Gateway. If this tutorial is helpful for you, then please like it and share it with your friends also. Don't forget to click on the bell icon so that whenever I will be uploading a new video, you will get the notification for that. And if you're new to my channel, then please subscribe to it, and you can also connect with me through my Facebook page. The link I will provide in the description box. Thank you for watching.